Michelle, how are you today?
Hey Megan, I'm pretty good.
Awesome. I'm a student at College of DuPage and in the interpersonal class. Before we get started with our session, I would like to go over the informed consent. You had signed this on intake, and you can get a copy of it on your way out. But before we get started, I just wanted to make a comment on what you put into our session you will get out of. I feel like we're going to be building a team-based relationship. So let's move on to the informed consent before we get started.
Okay.
The client released an informed consent form. These are the rights for clients receiving counseling by the staff at COD. 1, we want you to be treated with respect, consideration, and dignity. To be assured confidential treatment of the disclosures, except if we bring up anything such as physical or psychological child abuse, incest, child neglect, and abuse of older adults and older adults with disabilities. When it's necessary to protect clients from harming themselves or to prevent a clear immediate danger to others. And when subpoenaed or court ordered by the court of law, it has to be signed by a judge. Unfortunately, we would have to give out our session records. I want you to feel encouraged to talk openly and without reservation about your thoughts, reactions, and perceptions and feelings. I verify, by signing this, you are verifying that you've been informed of your rights and privileges and that you understand all of this. And sometimes we will be digital recording our sessions just for training purposes. Do you have any consent or questions on the consent form?
No, I don't.
You're okay?
Yeah.
What brings you here today?
Well, I'm having some anxiety. My mother is going to be moving in with my husband and I. And so at the end of the month, I have some anxiety about that.
What brings up the anxiety?
It's her coming in. My husband and I are just to the place where we were empty nesters, and now the nest is gonna fill again, not with children, but now with my mother, who is my husband's in-law.
So, how does the relationship with you and your mother-in-law go?
Well, she's my mom.
Okay.
Our relationship has been better before. At times it's a little strained now because she's had some health issues, and so she tends to be a little critical and I think critical and negative because of her health issues. So it could be better.
What is she negative and critical about?
Everything. It's from my point of view, everything, to me, she can just pick at stuff that I don't think is that big of a deal, or that I look at from a positive direction. To me, she looks at from a negative direction.
Have you ever talked to her about it before?
Yes. I've even at times said, Mom, stop talking about people. Or, yeah, really, just stop talking about people. Or yeah, I've said that, the way she speaks, I believe even impacts how she feels and how she, you're always negative. How can your perception ever change if all you speak is one thing? So.
What does she say when you confront her with this?
She goes back to the pain that she feels because she has pain in her face. She has what's called post-traumatic neuralgia in her face from having shingles 2 years ago. So she says, well, the pain in her face and then sometimes she'll just shut down, and then she'll tell other people later that I'm telling her what to do.
Have you tried doing like fun activities with her?
Yeah, I took her to the movies, or I'll every now and then call her to go shopping sometimes. I just have a hard time sometimes because I see my mother every week, but then I get like an overload, then I get okay, I have to call my mom, take a deep breath, get myself together, be positive.
What overloads you? Like, what is that feeling that's overloading?
just the anxiety of talking to her, because I know most of the time something negative is gonna come up. Or she's gonna require of me or ask me questions that I don't have the answer to, like about her pain or the doctors or something, and I don't have the answers. You know, she expects me to have answers that I don't have.
It's gotta be hard for you.
It is, it is hard.
Have you ever done any like self-reflecting, like journaling or about your feelings?
Journaling, but not so much about my mom. I do journaling, but I haven't done a lot about my mom though.
How would you feel about this week when we're not together, just jotting down some feelings about her, maybe your relationship now, in the past, and what you see it being in the future?
Okay, all right, I think I can do that.
All right, how do you think our session went today?
I think it went fine. I have something to do when I leave here, so that's good.
Any questions before